Yo, what's up guys, and welcome back to another lap time challenge where this week we are racing on Circuit de la Sarthe, that is better known as Le Mans. We are in Gr.1 vehicles and I'm now showing them below because you can choose out of 5 different ones, which is either the Mazda, the Nissan, the Mercedes, the Porsche or the Jaguar. All of them are equipped with racing hard tires and the current world record is a 3 minute 24 slightly below 0.3. That leaves us to be the 3 minute 30 seconds and 0.4. So let's get on track and try to beat this one. But before we get into the guide, let me give you some additional information. Checking the leaderboard, it seems that out of the 5 cars, the ones to go are either the Mazda 787B or the Nissan R92CP. The Mazda is a natural aspirated vehicle and I could handle this one a little bit better. The Nissan is a turbocharged one, and for me this one felt a bit more understeery, so I've decided to go for the Mazda 787B. And since one lap in Le Mans is quite long, I have decided to put the chase cam on the top left of this one now. So starting your lap, get a lot of speed to the main straight, go up to 3rd gear, next one up to 4th and keep it on the left for the first right-hander. Try to go narrow to the inside curb, and as soon as the curb straightens up on this area here, you need to get into the brakes and keep the car on the right hand side of the track. Go down to the very first gear before turning in over the inside curb, and for the right hander again cut a lot of the curb and then try to straighten up the car as soon as possible to go back on the power in 2nd. Revving out 2nd, go up to 3rd and turn in early for the right hander to keep it narrow, early up to 4th and then braking at the end of this curb on the right hand side where the tarmac ends. Brake interaction and down to 2nd, letting the car coast through this left hander, keeping it close to the curb. Early back on the power in 2nd, getting close to the curb on the right hand side without invalidating it. Over to the left hand side of the track, the brake marker is shortly behind this small shadow area. Short brake input, turning in over the inside curb, letting the car coast in 3rd before going back to the power and feeling comfortable, not going wide and invalidating your lap. Then rev out those gears, you can go in 4th gear up to 320 kph before going up to 5th and putting the car to the left hand side of the track. Trying to recover from the first sector, relax a little bit, go over to the left hand side of the track, and then the next brake marker is shortly after the 200 meter board where there is 2 marshals on the left hand side here. Go hard into the brakes and down to 2nd gear, cut a lot of this inside curb on the right hand side, and before turning into the left hander, go down to 1st gear with a small brake interaction, and as soon as you straighten up the car, go back to the power fully for the next straight. Now again, be reminded to rev out those gears before shifting up. The 4th gear again can be taken up to 320 kph. Put the car to the right hand side of the track, and again your brake marker will be after the 200 meter board. There's a small area of trees right before the 100 meter board that I used for braking, as you can see here on the right hand side. Again, brake hard and go down to 2nd gear, a bit over the inside curb on the left before turning into this right hander, down to 1st gear, keep it narrow to the curb, up to 2nd, straightening up the car, and as soon as possible again back to the power for the next straight. As before, try to use the straights to recover a bit and get your concentration back together for the next chicane. Position the car to the left hand side of the track, and then there will be a brake marker that will be the marshal post on the left and right hand side of the track, as you can see here with the fences. Go hard into the brakes and go down to the very first gear, positioning the car on the left hand side for turning into this right hander. Narrow to the curb without hitting the post, cause this will invalidate your lap. Up to 2nd, straighten up the car before hitting that power again. For this slight double right hander, rev out those gears again, get to the maximum speed, keep it narrow for the first right hander here. Revving out 4th gear up to 320 kph and then keep it narrow for the 2nd right hander on this one here. And then position the car to the left hand side of the track, and at the end of this shadow area of the trees, lift the accelerator pedal and go hard into the brakes, going down to very first gear, trying to keep it narrow for this left hander, up to 2nd gear, let the car coast shortly before going back to the power in 2nd. Accelerating shortly, the next brake marker is in between the 1st and 2nd gun commercial on the right hand side. Brake hard in a straight line and go down to 1st gear, then keep it narrow to the inside curb on the right hand side, up to 2nd, and as soon as possible, as you straighten up, go fully back to the power again. Now approaching the handling sector or the very last part of the track, go up to 4th gear and keep in mind there is no need to go to 5th gear now. Rev out 4th gear to the very max and then position the car to the left hand side of the track. A short braking interaction is happening before the Goodyear sign on the left hand side. So short brake input, going down to 3rd gear and then keep it narrow to the inside curb, let the car coast, power input again, lift again for the left hander, power input again, lifting again for the left hander, never brake, lifting again for the right hander, let the car coast in third gear, and now at the RMC on the right hand side, short brake input again. You can also use second gear to get more grip rotation, up to third early again, getting back to the power and back to the last chicane of the track. Position the car to the right hand side of the track, use a bit of the pit entry, and then in the middle of that, brake and go down to second gear, over the inside curb for the left and right hander. Short power input in second before braking again down to first, cut a lot of the curb for this left hander, up to second, over the curb on the right hand side, straighten up the car and go fully back to the power over the main straight and finish line, hopefully getting a gold time and 2 million credits in this week's challenge. And that's already it again for this week's lap time challenge in Le Mans in Group 1 vehicles. I have chosen the Mazda 787B, and with place 280 currently at least in the world and a time of 3:29.5 something, 585, I'm quite satisfied. So let me know in the comments what car did you choose and what time were you able to do with this one. And as usual, if this guide helps you out, I'd be happy if you leave a like to the video and consider subscribing to my channel to not miss the future ones. And then again I say thank you for watching and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.